どうだっけ。スキルオフ、資格。ダッシュがね、あんのか。もうちょっと上げてもいいか。こんばんは。ホラゲなのかわかんないですけど、まだわかんないです。まあ始めたばかりなんで。こんばんは、ライデンさん。妹をやってしまった。
Hold on, please, hold on.
はい、今始めたばっかりです。変な時間に寝ちゃって、変な時間に今起きちゃったんで、ちょっと朝まで少しだけですけどちょっとやります。
No! Please, a moment, let me explain!
本当ですか？
These patrols are after me. No! No! Don't shoot! This is a nightmare. I need to get out of here. This can't be happening. Over there! No, please stop. I mean you no harm. What's going on?
あるか。
Oh,
ダッシュできねえや。
What have I done? What's all this about?
お、
Shit, where'd it go?
近くで、ああ、
Now I can defend myself. Kill the thing! Over there! Who are you? Stay back! Sorry, but you left me no choice. Who are you? Stupid beast! Sorry. No, please, stop! Who are you? Christ! He's dead! What do you want?
ゲーなんすかね。
I mean you no harm. I need help. Die, you fucking leech! Please, listen to me. I can't make any sense of this. Shut up, beast! Who are you? What is this all about? What in God's name? I'll do the rest of the job. Just leave me. The sun feels like it's burning me to the bone.
え、最大値言っちゃうんだ。なるほどね。
I need to find somewhere to hide. Let me go!
主人公がまさかのヴァンパイアなんすね。
パパになっちゃったみたいな。え、丸ダッシュなのこれ、長押し
I
で。
need to find shelter.
うわー、
It's locked.
待って、嘘。走るじゃなくて、ああ、何戦闘モードが丸出しになる。
Is anybody there?
なんかママやって目覚めたとこから始まった感じです。噛まれちゃったっぽい。
Place seems
で、
abandoned.
多分ここでなんか人をなん
I
か
should be safe enough here.
吸うのか、ずっともう人間として生きていくのかみたいな。マルチエンディングっぽいんで。
噛まれて主人公もヴァンパイアか。
What have you done?
そうですね。
Mary!
マルチエンドは
メリー
無理ですね。
Mary, I'm sorry. Whoever did this to us, I will find them.
あ、人、これか。人、火。切るのも太陽と火を恐れない。そして太陽光の下に体をさらしても燃え上がりもしなければ灰にもならない。だが彼らを切りつける効果としては優秀、実に優秀だ。私は個人的にヴァンパイアを木にくくりつけ、夜明けに何が起こるかを観察したことがある。その肌は数分で内側から焼けたように黒ずんだ。目と肉は溶け、あの獣が一日脱出を試みる間、不浄な骨がうごめき、甲高い悲鳴を上げていた。最終的に乾燥した死体だけが残ったが、水平線の向こうに日が沈むとゆっくりと回復し始めた。私はその首を切り落としてとどめを刺した。火でも同じテストをしてみたが、あの6年出しのヒルが肺から元に戻ることはなかった。火は我々のいい武器だ。兄弟たちは、奴らを永遠に葬るには燃やすのが一番いい。グリフィン・リーダー・カール・エルドリッジ賞、敵を知れより。火が弱いと。結構収集物で少ないんだな。伝説のヴァンパイア。シリング、金かな。どっちが正解？先に。知ってる。
This one's dressed up fancy. Let's run through his pockets.
Picking the dead's pockets.
まあ一応これ
I've still a rent to
Z 指
pay.
定の18
He's
金ゲー
got
です
no
から
more
ね。
responsibilities. What's this? Gold watch.
Beautiful
声
it
出
is.
せよ。
We fancy it and share the takings.
え？
腹から声出してて。
undertakers.
朝から声って
Give me an
起きたばっかりだこっち。
That's impossible.
寝ちゃったよ、やるつもりかこのゲーム。 買ってきて。これ1万円だからね。
いい。
1万円。
皆さん、こんばんは。
こんばんは。
こんばんは。
これどっちが正解だ？
おやすみ
先進みたくね
ウルトラマン。
おやすみー。おやすみー。風邪ひかないように寝てください。
I had better remain here until nightfall.
なるべくと思いますね。こっち。
Who goes there? Who's there? Are you referring to me? No! No! I still have so much to accomplish.
まだまだ達成すべきことがあるんだ。なんだ達成すべきことがあるんだ。使うんだそんなの。
I still have so much left that needs doing.
なんで達成すべきことがあるんだって。また人死んでる。
そういえば、ぽよさんが、この時間に起きてる。これこのヒゲのおじさんがヴァンパイア？ついヤーク夢中になっちゃいました。
もう頑張ったよ。うん、そ
Johnny,
う。
this one's lost. We need to leave.
ヴァンパイアになっちゃったばっかり
There's
かな。
time. I can save him.
だからわけがわからない状態。
That's the enemy coming. The orders are to evacuate the
だから
hospital.
火とかで腕先火に当たって焼かれてるん
Done.
だ。
He'll live. And now what? We fight. Killing is a hell of a lot easier than healing.
だんだん思い出したのかこれ。もうエンジョルベキゲット。
No, it never got easy.
中古のリボルバー。何これ。あー、武器まであんのか。
演出が独特ですね。絵本みたい。
なんかライフイズストレンジ作ったところらしいですよこれ。とりあえず隠れ家みたいなところでアップグレードできると。なんだこれ。なんだまたこういう長いの。10月15日、眠れない。ベッキーか。ベッキーは一日中咳をしていて、高熱にうなされていた。朝大きな音を聞いた。川岸の地面に大きな穴を掘るのに男たちが機械を持ってきた。機械のシャベルのようなものだった。あの男たちに頼めば仕事をもらえるだろうか。ベッキーには薬が必要だ。10月16日、機械のシャベルの男たちと話をした。なんだシャベルって。ロンドン
最
中で
後のお仕事で死んじゃうんで寝ます。
掘っているそうだ。
皆さんおやすみなさい。
おやすみなさーい。どこまで掘っているぞ。何らかの安全対策だろう。新しい疫病が流行っているだろう。
仕事納めがあって
インフルエンザ
羨
が
ましい。
戻ってきたのか。
おやすみなさい
仕事はもらえなかった。ベッキーは昨夜少し眠れたようだ。なんだこれ。ごめん。 工場は閉まってしまって、この辺りに仕事はもうない。10月19日、ロンドンに食べ物と薬を探しに行ってきた。電車は走ってない。テムズを渡って戻る。長え、これ。どこまであんのこれ。ちょっと、まずにもう、目で寄っちゃおう。うん。うーん。
な、が、
長え、マジで。なんだこれ。
配信だと見えないので要約してください。わら。
長い長い、これ。ようやくですか。
確かに長いな。
これは夫婦で、奥さんが多分ヴァンパイアになっちゃったかな。で、下の人が多分奥さんかな。倒れてたやつ。で、上に椅子に座ってる人が多分夫で、自分で頭を打ち抜いて自殺してる感じかな。簡単に言えばそんな感じです。
さっきの椅子で死んでたおじさんがベッキ
None of it.
ー。
いや、ベッキーは
No sense at all.
下に倒れてた女の人ですね。男の、あれは夫で、
あり
必殺の夫。
がとうございます。
It's a nightmare. That's
すご
it.
い世界観。ベッキーじゃなかったわ草。
ベッキーで男ってなんだよ。
So be it.
お、
確かに。
まあ、いるのかもしんないけど。お、
Rational thinking only.
っぽいです。頭で終わったかもしれないですけど。知らない。
This is absolute madness. I've lost touch with the real.
なんで私の芸術感覚になったんです。よくある直訳翻訳。うんうん。まずは初夏のオートファジー。自分の血を吸収して、めっちゃあるじゃん。うん。どれか時間ともに。 ああ、まだこれなんだ。近距離よりもブラッドスピアってやつ。
Voice in my head. If I'm not mad, then it must belong to the one who made me what I am.
このまま寝落ちする予定なんですが、いいですか？
I must find him to understand
わら
what I have become.
いいですよ。でも自分も朝あるんで、その前ってやめちゃいますけど。まあ、あと1時間、まあ1時間以上できるか。1時間。自分の番見つけた。ヴァンパイア対する。あ、そう。
These people want me dead. I need to leave now.
逃げる。
Here's the leech. Here! My head's spinning. I cannot enter.
意識があるうちはコメントします。わら。
あははあ、いい人別に全然。見てるだけでも全然。お、なんだ？中古の杭。不安の武器は三角です。特殊効果を伴う攻撃を仕掛けるのでスタミナを消費します。なるほど。仕掛けた。
I'm still in Southwark. I must reach the West End.
杭を使ってスタンダメージを。バイトを行います。
Die, vermin!
The strength. The strength I never
なる
knew
ほど、
I
このように。
had.
なるほど。
Die, vermin!
あたせてる。
Every sinew, every fiber of my being is afire. I'm like a child learning the limits of my body. My strength, my reflexes. I'm not human anymore.
ヴ Your King of and Country need you またか
My poor sister. If only I had controlled my need for blood.
ノートを手に
Mary, someone will pay for what happened to you. For what happened to us. It's locked. It's locked, all right.
いやこれ
The dizziness from the jump. I can now control it.
おやすみマン。メリークリスマス。
おやすみなさいメリクリ
I cannot enter. It's locked.
あネズミ食えるんかい
Thirst for blood.
ネズミで回復できるのかえ、何間違えた何言ったああ何した今ヴァンパイアスキブ催眠これであれなのか回復がネズミ食えるんかちょっと待ってネズミを食えるのは初めて知ったネズミであれなんだ
I can't believe I'm doing this. What will London have to say to me?
色直せばいいのね金めっちゃ入るやん
It's locked, all right. I've so many questions unanswered.
マジで仕様が黒いですね。
そうですね
Another corpse. Have the very streets of London become a mausoleum? The man has been drained of all blood, but I can still smell the scent of it. I follow the scent's trail. Perhaps it will lead me to my assailant.
そのヴァンパイアセンスセンスなるほど
Fresh blood.
センキュー使った
The smell is so strong.
待て中市また死んだろこれ終わったやっぱりああ通れるか
This is a slaughterhouse. It's locked.
施錠されてる
この続きって以降も配信しますか？
わかんないですそれはなんかちょっと気分次第って感じですねもしかしたらしないかも
It's
しれないです
locked, all right.
なんかこのゲーム地味に高いんですよね通常版となんか限定版みたいなのがあって通常版はちょっといくらだったかな7000円ちょいぐらいして それが売ってなかったね、自分のとこ。売り切れてた。で、高い方を買ったんですよね。
There is no one in sight.
1万円、1万円ぐらいしました。1万円。約1万円。ほぼ1万円って感じです。あ、仕様見てなかった。
ぜひやってほしいっすね。
まあちょっと、多分気が向いたらって感じ。あ、ここね、途切れてる。ああ、向こう歌ってると。ちょっと待って。開くんかい。あれこっちから来てないよな。
It's locked.
あれあれかな、またここに来るのかな。こっち行ってないか。痕跡を追うのは分かってんだけど、探索したいんだよね。
こういうゲーム見てるのすげえ楽しいし、アーカイブで見させてもらいます。
I will return later.
はい。あ、やつが2周目とかだったらあれかもしれない。2周目は別のエンディング見るために。いや、これ多分もう一回ここ来そうだな。買い替わってと思ったし。新しい隠れ家があります。マップで場所確認しましょう。マーカーしてみよう。新しい隠れ家。ここか。
I have this thirst for blood.
隠れ家ここだな。ああ、会話中に使用している病気の使命を治療しますと。
クラフトがラスラスっぽい。
ああ、確かに。そうかもしれない。これまだ強化できないか。または、ああ、とりあえず、何もできないと。リサイクルできる。ちょっとしてみるか。ああ、アルミの粉末足りないのね。こっちは結局足んねえ。ああ、じゃあ。オッケーオッケー。血がここにあると。ああ、でも結局こっちが。アーカイが消えないんかい。あ、四角ね。ちょっと待って。操作がワンテンポ遅い。オッケー、消えた。で、 明。なんだ？フラットクオリティ。なるほど。めっちゃ人いるやん。
At last, a little life.
Something can be done to get out of this bullshit mess.
ダイソン。
Good evening, sir. I wondered if I could ask for your help.
Wow, you look like you need a drink.
Yes. I apologize for my outfit. It's been a long night.
Been there, seen that. Don't worry, things can only get worse.
と
What's going on around here? It's like everybody is hiding.
You must be new here. Have you not heard about the murders? Everybody fears the return of the sewer dog.
Who is this sewer dog?
It's the local bogeyman. Convenient answer for every crime that happened for decades. You murdered someone, blame the sewer dog, eh?
You make it sound like it's a fairy tale.
People will always believe in monsters. It's easier than accepting their own darkness. We can all be monsters.
Has anybody entered the bar recently?
Can't say. Sorry. I spent the night making love to that gorgeous bottle, see?
This is important, sir. Are you sure no one has come in here in the last few hours?
I don't know and I don't care. This is a free country. People still have the right to come and go, don't they?
I'll leave you to your bottle then. It's locked.
My God, sir, you look like Jonah's whale just spat you out of hell. Can I get you a drink?
No, thank you. I'm not thirsty.
Well, grab a chair and get some rest. This is going to be another long night.
Why is it going to be a long night?
You must be new around here. Don't you know about the murders?
Tell me more about these murders.
Every morning for the last few weeks, bodies have been found. And those poor sods didn't die of flu.
Do the police have any leads on a suspect?
Even before the outbreak, coppers never came round here. We're on our own. People die in these parts all the time, and no one cares.
I'm looking for someone who might have passed through here recently. Wondered if you might help.
It's been quiet tonight. The only other person I've seen went straight up to his room. Thought it was kind of rude, actually.
You mean he's still here?
Well, yeah. He paid for the entire week.
Who is this man? What does he look like?
Well, like a gentleman, I guess. Well-dressed, quite polite. A professor or something fancy like that. Always writing, reading notes.
How long has he been here?
He rented the room a few days ago and didn't say when he'd leave.
I need to meet this man. I have questions.
Just climb the stairs and knock on the first door. I heard him open his window, so I guess he's still awake. And,
Yes?
no funny business, you hear me? This is a respectable establishment.
It's a good thing you cannot see me now, Mum.
当たり前の店のライフ。
Hello, sir. Are you all right? Is there any way I can help you?
I don't know. Maybe you could just talk to me.
Maybe you prefer to speak with Tom, then. He's more agreeable talking to strangers.
I just want to talk. I didn't mean to scare you.
I'm not afraid, sir. It's just I've other customers to take care of.
I only see one customer.
Oh. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, I best check on them.
What's going on around here? Where is everyone?
Too many dead, sir. First the epidemic, and now all these terrible murders.
The murders. What can you say about them?
Bodies found in the streets every morning. Drained of blood. It's just horrible. Some say the sewer dog is back.
The sewer dog? What's that?
No one knows. People have always disappeared around these parts. The ancients say it's the sewer dog coming out to feed. But now he's killing in the streets.
What have you heard about the epidemic?
There's a Spanish flu. Yeah. Killed so many last summer. Thought we'd seen the last of it. Dozens dying every week.
Are the authorities doing anything?
Nothing. There are so many quarantine zones in London now. It's gotten really hard to travel across town.
What is this place?
This is Tom's bar, a turquoise turtle. I'm the barmaid here, Sabrina, if you want to know.
Are you always open this late at night?
No, it's only since the epidemic started. Tom thought people may need a safe place to stay.
You don't seem to have much business. Where is everybody?
Well, most people are sleeping right now. And those that are awake tend to avoid going out. What with the murders and all.
I'll leave then. Thank you.
で、2階にいる人と話すと。禁止。
This is no place for you. Prewen has several patrols roaming the area.
They do not pursue me.
But they're looking for vampires, and they're most efficient.
They'll not relent until the killer has been identified.
I have a common objective, but I require...
I think someone is eavesdropping.
Are you certain? You might as well come in, whoever you are.
Slowly, vampire. Who are you?
I mean you no harm.
Say it's a vampire. Present yourself.
I need a word. Anyone?
十字架か。このパパで十字架用意。
Well, that's something I can do for you. And who might you be?
I'm not sure that I know anymore.
なるほど。血を吸うと6000、なんか血を、確かこのゲームだ血を吸えば経験値1分もらえるんだよな。最初のヘルスと救世主になったヒートによって、なんだ、なんか育てるみたいなこともできるのかな。
Might I at least learn the reason of your presence?
That's none of your concern.
育てる違う。
Sir, you have entered my room in the middle of the night, pale as a corpse and shaking like a tree. So please, indulge me.
Someone is molesting people. In fact, killing them. Biting them.
The calling card of a vampire. Like you.
I've been hunted down in the streets and attacked. I'm a victim here too.
I believe you.
Then if you are not a vampire, who or what are you?
Dr. Edgar Swansea of the Brotherhood of St. Paul. I am performing an independent investigation here in an attempt to understand precisely what is going on.
I heard another voice, that of a woman. Who were you talking to?
Ridiculous. I've no idea what you're talking about.
Something tells me not to trust you.
then the feeling is mutual.
What have you uncovered concerning the murders?
It started a few nights ago. Rumors of violent murders. The docks have always been, shall we say, somewhat unsavory. But this is different.
How different?
A vampire is at work here. Famished. Reckless. It must be brought to ground, and quickly.
And what exactly is this Brotherhood?
Sir, if the name is not familiar to you, then we shall discuss it another time.
Then help me find the culprit.
I may. If you'll first tell me why you opened this door.
I followed a trail. The scent of blood from a recent victim. It led me here.
You thought I was your aggressor. That explains a great deal. We're both chasing the same shadow.
Perhaps. This is all new to me. I'm not even certain what I'm looking for.
You should let me handle this affair. You've no idea what you're up against.
No. I will find the monster. He is mine.
How will you do any better than I? But then let me ask you this. What are your intentions if you find the killer?
I don't know yet.
Then I can only wish you good hunting. And pray we shall meet again.
If Swansea is not my attacker, it means somebody else came here tonight. Someone must know something.
これ L3 ダッシュ走ると書いてあるけど、あ、歩く走るってこういう意味か。
Hello, sir. May I disturb you again?
And you're still ugly as sin.
I'll leave you to your bottle then.
Welcome back. Did you find what you were after?
I can't say I have. Are you sure no one else came into your bar before I arrived?
Hey, I told you, you were the only other stranger I've had.
I think you're hiding something from me.
I hide many things from many people, sir.
Indoor.
That's what my job's about.
Goodbye, Mr. Watts.
なるほど。何かヒント。このなんだっけ、サンタナじゃねえ、名前忘れた。
Evening, sir.
サブリナだ。
Can I help you?
I have a few questions for you.
Well, if you must.
本当のことを知りたいんだ。ちょっと待って。本当、抜いとこう。
I spoke to Dr. Swansea. He's not the man I'm looking for. Now, I want the truth.
The truth? What do you mean?
I suspect that someone else was here tonight, and I don't think Tom wants to tell me about it.
I'm just the barmaid here, okay? If Tom says you're the only visitor we had, then you're the only visitor we had.
I can feel your fear, madam. Please tell me what's going on.
It's Will. William Bishop.
Yeah.
He came in here earlier tonight and he... Well, I thought he was going to clock someone.
Why are you so afraid?
I mean, his skin. His hands. I scrubbed every glass and every chair that he touched. God, I hope it's not contagious.
What happened tonight?
He was dead drunk, as usual. But my God, his eyes. his face. He must have caught something awful. He shouted and cried. It was terrible.
Tell me about this William Bishop.
Will was a sailor who worked at the canning factory before he lost that job. A nice bloke, really. He's never been violent. Until tonight.
Why keep it a secret? Why not tell me about it?
Tom's nothing if not loyal. After Will lost his job, he offered him one ear. They used to be good mates. But recently, well... Will started to get very aggressive.
I see. Thank you for your candor. I'll be sure to talk to Tom.
There's gotta be something can be
You
done to
again.
get out of
What
this.
can I do for you?
Tom, talk to me about the visit from your old friend, William.
Yes, Will came by tonight, but he's not my friend anymore.
Why lie to me if he is not your friend?
I didn't lie. I said you were my only unannounced customer, and that's the truth.
Who is he?
William, just an old sailor who loves his gin too much. He worked for years at the canning factory before it closed.
Is he dangerous?
Yeah, like many drunks, he's all bark and no bite. He can barely stand up most of the time.
How was he tonight? Was he different?
Sicker than usual, perhaps. He whined and mumbled about how mean people were to him and how he'd like to talk to me outside, and then he left when I refused.
I need to find him. It's a matter of urgency. Do you know where he is?
You could try his boat. It's up by the North Pier. He sleeps there when he's too drunk to get home.
Please describe him to me.
What'd you expect? He's a tall, sick bastard with a bad rash and torn old clothes. William used to be strong. Now he's a mess.
Thank you, Tom.
If you see him, tell him I don't want him back here unless he cleans up his act, okay?
Are they stupid or something? I've never even been to India.
I will get to the bottom of this intrigue. What's been done to me? To this city? The body is still warm. This man has just been drained of blood. What's this? Some sort of note.
リベンジでしょ。
These men, they're a company of professional vampire hunters. This man was armed. He tried to defend himself. This corpse has been dried of its blood, just like the previous victim. Blood and empty gin bottles. This bishop fellow is something of a heavy drinker. There are blood splats on the other side of the canal. I must reach that barge.
これ、しゃがみ歩きみたいなのないのかよ。堂々と歩いてんやん。
It's locked. I cannot enter.
There's nothing here. Let's head back to a warm fire. Shut that foolish mouth of yours. Sorry, sir. No admittance.
丸長押し出しがちょっとな、なれんな。エネミーガード。一番の敵は時のダメージについて大会抵抗力を持ってます。抵抗力は物理、遠距離、パワー、ブラッド、シャドウ。近距離と、なるほど。遠距離武器で2人ともなんかブラッド攻撃で。でこの攻撃が悪いんだろ。こいつは遠距離が弱い。遠距離が強いと。他普通か。
Watch yourselves! There's one of them! Fuck, it's fast! No! 'Sir, over there!
待って、これ装備まだ拳銃みたいな装備できないんだ。多分これ。 そうだよな。
Over there!
あ、できるやん。なるほど。弾をやっと手に入れた。選べんのか。あ、まだこれ。
It's locked, all right. Fresh blood. The whole building reeks of it. The scent is so strong it makes me dizzy.
I needed to drink. I'm so thirsty. As one, we shall overcome. We've done it before.
This place reeks of bloodshed. This creature is bedeviled. I must put it down.
William was an honorable man. I could have saved him.
Mr. Hampton, are you in there?
I knew him well, another lost soul, a kindred spirit.
Sir, listen to the sound of my voice. I'm a doctor. You're suffering from shock.
I must return to my flock. They'll stray without me.
Remember, certain skulls are every bit as resistant as we are.
Who are you? What do you mean by Skal?
You truly are a newborn. I should have realized.
Wait. You are the woman from the bar. Are you... like me? Can you help me?
I believe, sir, I already have.
By George and the Saints, you've solved the mystery of these terrible murders. Patience, good fellows, I've come to offer help. Just give me a moment to secure my boat. We can leave this awful place.
William was not the evil man they claimed. He was just taken by the thirst. He needed his drink.
This man requires medical attention. We'll see he gets to the nearest hospital.
No, please, I must tend to my fold. My flock needs me.
There, sir. Go with the good Dr. Swansea. He's resourceful, and I'm sure he'll take good care of you.
You'd best come as well. The sun is soon to rise, and you'll need a place to rest.
I just need a moment. If I can learn something about what has happened to William, I'll be a step closer to understanding what happened to me. I cannot enter. It's locked, all right. This poor creature can't be my maker. Could it be some subspecies of vampire?
Non so perché.
I must find a place to analyze the blood. Where are we headed?
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... What manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What... Who is she?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that skull. You must know who she is.
And I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back, but I will tell you she values her privacy. Were London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal? If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea?
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stole, yes. But first and foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself, Dr. Reed.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed, a surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
I knew it! I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word, again, from a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
And for that, you are right.
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital. As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this... affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy?
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King and Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes. Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea, immediately.
Welcome aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. I'm coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming.
It's locked.
We'll have a word in my office later, Jonathan.
Come on, you bastard! You can do better than that! Nah! It's my turn!
Rotten or pristine, each heart contains the seed of life. Drink at this river, try it all.
Oh, come on, you bastard! I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
All right, sorry. I am in pain here. My guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
No more. Not tonight. Not like this. I will not take another life.
It is wise for the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go. But no famished hunter can run for long.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I would like to ask a few questions first. And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in, how does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
Thank you, Nurse Crane. Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
It's not exactly the best situation in London either. I can't have expected this hospital to be prepared for what was to come.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office now and again.
Do you need any medical assistance yourself, Doctor?
Come on, don't be ridiculous, dear colleague.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett. Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett's. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Do you require medical assistance, nurse?
Thank you for your concern, but I'm fine.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance. Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research. Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
There is no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
That is one point we could agree on. And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help to this hospital, instead of a burden.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
I have wasted too much.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet.
My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. And the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
Do you need medical help yourself, nurse?
I'm fine, really. I just need to sleep.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins. Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood. Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the dockers' trade union. The wet boot boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks, and I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest, and then I can go back to the people who need me.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later. Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal?
My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of pustulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard's syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You... You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
It was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
Do you require my services, Miss Howcroft?
I have no need for your medicine, Dr. Reed. Blood is the only drug I need.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities. Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett. It's locked, all right. Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate. Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No. I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is, we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reed. I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical. You may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me. But I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time. Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him, or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Aykroyd's behavior. A man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time.